All right, so we are on to the fourth piece of the bedroom. We are going to be working on a bed for the bedroom. You all knew that this was coming at some point. So here we have in I think 3 of the 4 pieces that we made in the bedroom. I gotta see if there's a I think the nightstand that we made was the Hornsund. I gotta see if there's a Hemnes nightstand so that we could all be all the same bedroom set, because this is the Hemnes bed. So, couple quick notes. The legs on this are pretty sturdy and thick. The thickness of this board here is equivalent to this board here, is equivalent to this board right here, is equivalent to this board right here. And you can see that this board, there's a board that's just underneath this one. It looks like it's about flush with this board that's just above it. In fact, let me maybe it is slightly inset. It's probably something like this, now that I think about it. So, just a few things to keep in mind. I'm going to start with the down here, doing the foot of the bed, and then I'll add the rest. I don't know if it shows me any of the bed without a mattress on it. No. Okay. Alright, so let's get into it. I'm going to start with just making the flat, skinny, rectangular pieces that run horizontally on our bed. It's a little too tall. So I'm making these pieces right here, this piece and this piece. And I'm going to guess that the thickness of this is equivalent to the thickness of this. Okay. That seems about right for the width of our bed. And so I'm just going to move this up. How far off the ground is this supposed to be? It's about a quarter of the way up this thing, so looks probably fine. So I'll duplicate this. It's gonna go up here. Alright, so these are much skinnier than I have them. So let me do that. Alright, that seems pretty good. No, I think these are much skinnier. Yeah. I'm gonna move this down. Alright, that seems fairly accurate. And then bring these this way, get them off the origin, and so now I'm going to have a board connected here and here. So the easiest way to do that is honestly going to be to I'm gonna add a edge loop. Make sure my multiple edge loops is set to 1 edge loop so I can perfectly bisect this. And also I'm going to bisect it this way, because that's going to give me a vertex right in the center of this here. Alright, so I'm going to grab the top of this in object mode, duplicate it, pull it off, and I'm just going to scale this down super short. Oh, whoops. So I'm going to grab my insert edge loop tool on this duplicate, split it this way, and switch to my move tool, set my pivot point to the top of this, rotate tool, and it's negative 90 degrees it seems on the Z. And so now I can take this, hold V for snap to vertex, and there we go. So now I'm going to go ahead and grab these faces here and snap them straight down. And now I have this in here. But if I jump back in here, slightly, very slightly smaller. Oh, maybe not. No, it's probably fine there. So what I don't need though is I don't need this edge loop anymore. So I'm just going to go ahead and select that edge loop and delete it, clear it out. So this is what we're working with so far. And then, let's see, I think it's time to add some legs. Is this the best piece to use for the legs? Probably. Whoops. So I'll duplicate this. Snap. I'm going to set my pivot point to the corner here, snap that on there. And scale tool, and just scale this out till it's touching the grid basically. And then another thing is that my pivot point is in the middle of this. You can see that it's slightly wider than all of this because it's slotting into it. So I'm just going to use my scale Z here, widen these out a little bit. Alright, and duplicate this, set my pivot point to the opposite side, it's on the wrong vertex, and then snap this on the opposite side. Alright, so now let's grab this, and I'm going to duplicate this, because what I'm now going to make is this board that's right in here, and basically just going to thin the board in this way a little bit so it's just inside. Snap my pivot point up to the top middle. And then just scale this down until it crosses into the piece at the bottom. So now we got this. And in fact, if you want to make this a little thinner so it's more obvious, this is what we got so far for the foot of our bed. Now we just need to add this piece up here, which I'm basically going to do by just duplicating this piece again. Rotate it 90 degrees. Pull it up so it's about on top. And scale it out so it's just over the outside edges. So looks like there's a fair bit of overhang there. So there we go. Alright, so there's our footboard. Pretty straightforward. Now we're going to be able to use a lot of this same geometry with some minor tweaks to do our headboard. So let's go ahead and grab all this, duplicate it, group it, and I'll just center the pivot on the group and just push it out over here. Alright, so let's see, for the base of this, if I go into my other pictures, it looks like the bottom of this exposed area on the headboard doesn't really start until just past or just above where the footboard top height is. Would be nice if it actually showed me that. That's not really a useful picture. Yeah, so I'd say just they're about equivalent, it looks like. So what that means is that I'm going to move this way up for now. And this I'm going to leave alone for now. I don't think I even need a middle piece. Nope. Now, I do need, okay. Alright. So, let's go back a step. Before I go yank the top off of this, I'm also going to grab this and lift them all up at the same time. Cool. Alright. So I'm just going to go ahead and duplicate the top part of this. And being that it's the exact same as the other one I had there, I'm going to just snap this straight up onto the bottom of this. And this is going to be the piece where all these little slats fit in. Now let me go ahead and grab all of this, go into this view here, and like I said, it doesn't really start until just after the base of, or the top of the headboard. That's essentially what I'm going to use as my guide here for the height, which looks to be pretty, let me take a look back at this picture. Looks pretty decent. Yeah, okay, we'll call it there. That looks good. So let's go ahead and let's do our slats. Okay. So we have this length of board. We can see that there's about, I don't know, I'd say a quarter, maybe a third of it that's taken up. So let me go in here. If I'm thinking that a third of this is empty space total on the outside, that would mean this is a sixth each to add up to a third. So if I go into insert edge loop and make 5 subdivisions, oof, I already have one in the middle though. Okay, so if I make 2 here and 2 here, aha, there we go. Okay, so now I have this area to this area is what I want to be working on. And if I take both of these loops, I'm going to go ahead and delete these. And then I think I want to add 4 on each side. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, because I want 10 total, right? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, there's only 9. Oh, okay. That makes our job way different. Okay, let me undo that. Undo that. So this needs to be 3, 4. Oh, hell yeah. Okay, cool. So now I got all these set up. Basically means that I'm going to turn on my wireframe on shaded to make things simple for me. Take this, move tool, and just to make it easy on myself, I'll isolate select, move this to the bottom center, and I didn't duplicate it yet, so Command D, move it over, duplicate, whoops. So we got those. Duplicate. I'm just duplicating and snapping. All right, so turn my wireframe off. So we got these going. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and take the faces, whoops, on the top of this and just connect them up with the bottom here, holding V, boom, pull that up to fill that gap. And then when it comes to whoops, object mode, I'm going to take this, put this into face mode, grab the 4 faces on top, and set their pivot point to the outside, or inside, excuse me, vertex in the middle. And then I'll just pull these up. Alright. Come on over here. Oh, whoops. I don't need that selected. don't know why the pivot was so screwed up over there. Alright, set this one also to the inside middle edge. Snap it up. There we go. So now we got our headboard. We got all this. Oops. All right, so last things that we're gonna need to add. Two boards that connect straight back. And in the middle, on our legs to the other leg. And then adding slats, that'll be pretty easy. Okay. What's the best way to do this? I mean, I think that the best way to do this will be grab a new cube. We'll just do this the short, sweet, and to the point way. Move this over here. Still way too thick. Turn it out this way. Move forward a bit. What is going on here? Alright. Set my pivot point onto this corner. Whoops. That's not what I wanted to do. I want to set my pivot point to this bottom right corner. So I'm going to snap it onto the edge of this. No, I don't want it there, but I'm going to use it to align it height-wise, and then just move it so that it's inside this leg here. Looks fine. And then I'm just going to scale this out till it's inside that other leg. Looks good to me. And then I'm just gonna do the good old-fashioned group trick. So I'll duplicate this, throw it in a group. Since I built symmetrically around my origin, scale X, -1, boom. Perfect. And then I'm just gonna grab the original one here. Just because I want it to be the same size. Roll it onto its back, so 90 degrees rotate Z. And then 90 degrees rotate X. And I'm just going to go ahead and center my pivot. Hold X to snap to the grid and snap it down here. Just so that I know it's snapped in the middle. Bring it up. Not that high though. You want the slats to be just on the inside of this.
Wait, so this is the final part of the bedroom project?
Not the last part, no. So I got a slat there. Going to my top view. Maybe do that. Do that. All right, and there you go. 5 slats. We got a frame. So that is how you make a bed frame, Hemnes bed frame. If you want to add a a mattress, I suggest that you actually use a cube. I know that sounds ridiculous, but just bear with me for a second. So I'm going to lengthen this out. Lengthen this out. Alright, so I got my bed, my mattress in there. And then we haven't really talked about this tool before, but it's called a bevel. It's this right here. It's under Edit Mesh also, I think. Oh, where is it? Mesh tools? Where are they hiding bevel? Oh, it is under Edit Mesh. Edit Mesh bevel. And that's just making these rounded tips. I increased the segments to 5. The higher your segment value, the more round it is. I don't think you need to go nuts. But yeah, that just gives you a nice looking mattress if you need or want to have a mattress in there. Just a cube, lengthened out to fit, and then I use this bevel button, increase my segments. Alright, that's it. You don't even need the mattress, but that's just there for you. This is the bed frame that you're making.